We're on. Going live in three, two, one. Hey guys, there we go. We are live streaming tonight. Hey guys, hope you guys had a good week. Got a lot of stuff to talk about tonight. I think the first thing up is going to be that letter from the attorney. Okay, let's just get this thing rolling. So, welcome, guys. Welcome to Advocates for Justice Foreclosure Defense Paralegal School. We are different and we prove it. Here, you're going to learn how to do your own stuff. You're going to learn how to build these documents. You're going to learn how to defend your property. All you got to do is watch the instructional videos to get started. But before we start today, I want to, I'm Coach Neighbors, in case there's new people here. Before we start today, I want to take a second to make sure you guys to ask you guys to click on the ad, click on the ads on my YouTube channel. That's how I get paid. You click on the ads, I get paid. I get paid. My stuff is cheaper. The price goes down, but that's how that rolls. So make sure you click on the ad. Also, subscribe. Always subscribe. Hit the like button if you respect what I'm doing, and make sure you click the bell. When you click the bell, you'll receive notification when it's time to rock and roll. You'll receive notification when I'm ready to start streaming. So, one other thing, please share my stuff on Facebook. The attorneys from California is having Facebook block me from advertising. The attorneys in Cali don't like my eliminate property tax lawsuit package for some reason. I don't know why they don't like it, but they don't like it, and I don't care. So, since I know they don't like it, I spend a little more time putting it in people's face over there because that's how I roll. So, if you guys could share my stuff, I really appreciate it, and it helped me out a lot too. And it'll help somebody else find out that they have an option. Mm-hmm. They have options. Now, let's go ahead and get to talking about some of the things we need to talk about today. So, when you guys contact me, please be please be prepared to listen more than speaking. Listen more, speak less. Okay, because I don't want to hear all of the things that you went through. I don't need to know everything that happened. I just need to know a few things. And sometimes when people call me, they're really upset and very emotional. And it's hard for me to learn the things that I need to know if I have to listen to a whole bunch of things that don't matter. Because none of that stuff, the servicer, none of that stuff is what we use. Okay. We have a whole different program, and none of that stuff is going to help us. So if I cut you off to stay focused on what I need to know, I don't want you to get upset. If you do get upset, then I'm thinking you're not going to be a good fit for our group. Okay. Because I'm a coach and I'm here to help you learn. I know so much worried about if you like me or not, or any of that. Now, it's great if you like, if the coach is liked, but at the end of the day, it's more important to be effective and successful than it is to be liked. And so that's kind of how I roll. So when you contact me, please be prepared for me to ask you a couple of questions, and don't be offended. The first question I'm going to ask you is where your goal is for calling me today. Okay. I'm going to ask you what your goal is for calling me today. If I have no idea what your goal is for calling me, I can't help you. And if your goal is to do whatever it takes to stay in your house, we are good. We're on the same page. And the next thing we need to do is figure out which lawsuit package would provide you with the value that you need to achieve the goal. Okay. Now, the goal is to stay in your house. That's different than winning the foreclosure and stopping all of that stuff. Totally different. The goal to do whatever it takes to stay in your house. Now, if your goal is different than staying in your house, then we must communicate to determine if my program is a good fit for your goal. And I'm going to say it again. Please don't be offended if I cut you off. To stay focused on what I need to know and not so much on what they did to you. Okay? Because if we don't stay focused, I need to use my time in the most efficient manner. If I don't, then I don't get to bed till late because I can't go to bed till I get all stuff done. So if I get short with you on the phone, or if I need to get off the phone or something, then you just need to understand that I have 600 people in the group. Well, actually 598. Someone got sent home, and we'll talk a little bit about that later. So when you call me, there's a couple of things that I'm going to need to know. And so you might as well figure this out before you call me, so we're using our time in the most efficient manner. So one, I'm going to need to know if you're in foreclosure, if it's judicial or non-judicial. And a judicial foreclosure started by being served a petition, a summons, or a complaint, or something of that nature. And you have to appear in court. You have to answer, and within 21 days. Well, I don't answer. We respond. But anyway, you have to respond in 21 days, and then they reply. Then the process goes through the court. In a non-judicial foreclosure, you are mailed a notice of default letter in the mail that pretty much states that you owe a bunch of money, and if you don't pay this money plus this extra money, then they're going to sell your home. If you don't pay all of this extra money within 30 days, then they're going to sell you home. And they really, really tack on the fees. I call those the steal your hope fees. They just tack on the fees to make you think that there's no way. Well, they already know there's no way you can come on with the money. And who can come on with all that money at one time? Yeah. So that's a non-judicial foreclosure. In a non-judicial foreclosure, the process does not get into the court unless you file a lawsuit against them. It does not get into court until you get into the eviction process. And the eviction process is in the eviction process, the eviction court can only make a determination on immediate possession. They cannot make a determination on a title dispute. And that's why we have our program set up to file your title dispute in federal court and challenge the lower court's jurisdiction with the jurisdictional challenge, or the jurisdiction challenge that's in the packet, or whatever, and then move everything from eviction court over to federal court to be connected to your lawsuit. You shouldn't file your jurisdictional challenge and leave it sit there and wait for the judge to rule on it. You want to go ahead and get all this stuff done and move it out of there. That's how we set that up. So I'm going to need to know if it's judicial or if it's non-judicial, and what state it's in. It also helps. Is it a tax lien foreclosure, or a regular or mortgage deed foreclosure, mortgage loan foreclosure? Is it a HOA foreclosure? These are all things that we need to know, so that we can make sure that we're directing you to the right lawsuit package that'll provide you with the value that you need. Now, the other thing I'm going to need to know is where you are in the foreclosure process. Have you been served? Are you in the eviction process? So these things are important to know to figure out the game plan that you're going to need, and how much of a hurry you're going to need to get your stuff done and filed. So another thing is, I'm going to need to know what your plan of action is to defend your property. Now, I don't push my stuff on people. I don't close people. I don't make you buy my stuff. I don't even have time to do that, and I don't want to do that. The way I see it is, if you don't see the value to jump in and go, then we're just going to be wasting each other's time. So I'm going to ask you what your plan of action is, and hopefully by the time you call me, you'll have these things together, so you'll know what your plan of action is. And part of figuring out your plan of action is going to be heading over to the website. We'll talk about that here in a little while. And the last thing I'm going to need to know is when you're going to implement your plan. Is it something you're going to do now? Is it something you're going to do later? And I'm just going to throw it out there. For me, that lets me know where your priorities are. If your priorities are up at the top, well, that's where we're going to do what we can do. If your priorities are not at the top, then I'm going to tell you, call me back when your priorities change. Hopefully that'll be before they stick that eviction thing on your door, because I don't rush around at the last minute. And I'm sure there's people in the group that have tried to get me to do that, and they find out that I don't rush around at the last minute. Because at the end of the day, at the beginning of the day, I'm already rushing around trying to get everything done that I'm supposed to be getting done. Okay, I don't have time to rush around and do this other stuff because somebody waited until the last minute to step up and take action. So in order for our time to be used in the most efficient manner, before you contact me, and thank you for supporting me and looking at my stuff. I have people watch the videos and they call me right away because they're really excited that they have a chance, and that's great. But until you do some of these things, that whole phone call, nothing comes out of the phone call. It's not a very efficient phone call. Okay. So in order to use our time in the most efficient manner, you guys should take the time, please, before you contact me, take the time to go to my website at winincourtnow.com. WININCOURTNOW.com, winincourtnow.com. Go to the website and take a look at the various legal documents and lawsuit packages available. Scroll down to the most asked questions and answers section and see what those questions and answers are that get asked most of the time. And please review the disclaimer. It tells you where my responsibilities are and where your responsibilities are. And you can also check out some of my Google reviews. Now, the Google reviews that are posted on my website aren't the latest reviews. I've got a bunch of newer reviews. I just don't have time to update all that stuff because I don't have staff yet. So if you want to see the latest Google reviews, you can head over to my Google My Business page or whatever, or just Google my name. I take up a couple of pages. Yeah. So go to my review page if you want to check out the reviews. And I suggest that you do that, because until you do that, you have no idea the value that you're going to find here. And you go talk and look at the page and see what other people have to say. Don't give you an idea. Now, I only have a couple of bad reviews, and they're both from people that aren't very smart. One guy was scared of the judge and started freaking out in the group. And I'm like a coach, okay? Anytime you hear somebody, if you're a coach and you hear somebody in your team, doing bad self-talk, I don't, no. So I don't want to hear it. So what I did to him, I just asked him, hey, dude, are you ready to go sit? Are you ready to give up and go sit down on the bench? And he got offended because I asked him that. And he was talking all this stuff. Look, if you're afraid of the judge getting up in your face, don't file my stuff. Okay. I'm just telling you, do not file my stuff if you're scared of the judge getting up in your face, because they're all going to be up in your face trying to get your ass out of court, because they ain't going to want to hear what you bring to the table because it's fire. So please do your homework on me. Check out my YouTube videos and learn how I roll. The videos posted on my YouTube channel are the result of a lot of hours of research. And those research hours went into the legal documents that make up the lawsuit packages. So my YouTube channel is the only channel that I'm aware of that provides you with free legal information. I'm going to say, yeah, I said it. Free legal information, free information about how to fight your foreclosure. And we provide the information free and help you learn how to stay in your house. Because remember, that's the goal, to stay in your house. So my channel is divided into different playlists. And the most important playlist is the jurisdiction challenge. That's the most important playlist. The jurisdictional challenge with an affidavit is a video in that playlist. You should look at that. There's an update to the jurisdictional challenge with an affidavit. You should definitely look at that. If you don't have time to look at anything else, the jurisdiction video playlist is the one that you need to start on, because everything that you do in this program is based off of the jurisdiction, the lack of jurisdiction. So tonight we're going to introduce you to the new lawsuit that we used to get the win. It's on sale now for only $75. Are you kidding me right now? I know. I got it on sale for $75 because I want to see a lot of people sticking it up in the attorney's face. So I got it on sale for $75. Now, this is not the package. I'm still putting the package together for the state court challenge to the wrongful foreclosure lawsuit package for a state court. I'm putting that package together, and this win, the documents that we filed to get this win are going to be the blueprint of that package. And this document for $75 was the final document that we filed, right, and make them throw in the towel. And we offer that document $75. And I think there's one or two documents connected with it. All it is just a document for you to take and figure out something you can do with it. For $75, you got a chance now to jam up your foreclosure and stick something in these attorneys' faces. What we're finding out is that we have to be ready to jump on the judge's ass as soon as the judge steps up and interferes with and gives them unfair advantage. And in this case that we did, my sister filed all of her stuff, and we just kept a close eye. And it took them a year. Well, we filed a lot of stuff, but we're not going to have to file all that. I'm going to figure out what we didn't need to file. And as soon as the judge stepped up and made a ruling to try and ignore our challenges and all of our stuff, we just jumped right on the judge. Filed a motion we filed an objection in the magistrate judge reconsideration package. We filed the objection and notice of reconsideration. Then we filed our notice of claim against the judge, and then we filed a motion to recuse the judge. Mm-hmm. And then we filed this fancy lawsuit that we got on sale here for $75. Well, we filed it as a counterclaim inside of their case. Yep, you can do that. That way you're getting your lawsuit on the record without having to pay the freaking filing fees and jamming up their stuff. And then we can show you later how to move their case over to federal court. Yeah, but that's a different document. So we're going to give you an update on the win. We're also going to show you the attorney's stupid letter. The attorney wrote a stupid letter to the court after we filed the lawsuit and after we recused her and all of that stuff. And I'm going to show that to you. And I'm also going to share with you the confirmation email from the clerk that the case was terminated. So before we get to all of that, I want to touch base and see who all is here. Howdy, guys. I see some people are here already and signed in and ready to go. Outlast Leonard commented. Oh, thank you. He said, really likes some information. When now commented. I got my passport today. And how do I know if it's right? So when now? I'm not expert on the passport process. Okay, I just pass that on to you guys so you can use it. You're gonna have to become your own expert on the passport process. So don't ask me no questions about the passport. Y'all sound like Yusuf now. If you watch his video, he'll tell you, if you don't understand this, don't call me and ask me shit because, I'm not gonna go that far, but I don't know the passport. I'm not an expert on the passport process. So you're gonna figure that out on your own. So Cornelia Morrow commented, what about being filed on during the moratorium? So the moratorium don't mean shit to me. Okay, it don't. People misunderstand the moratorium and they think that the moratorium stops the filing and stops it. All of the moratorium stops is them from kicking you out of your house into the street if your loan is the FHA loan because it's federal, this federal moratorium. And the people don't have to follow that. Okay. And I'm just going to throw that right out there on the table. But here's the problem. Most people think the moratorium stops the court filings and all of that, and it does not. And when all of this shit is over and they stop extending the moratorium, there's going to be a lot of people facing the eviction process because they didn't respond to the letters that were sent to them from the court. The moratorium does not stop the court process. It does not stop the court process. So let's get back to the program here. So I'm going to show the attorney's letter as soon as I figure out how to do a screen share. Maybe I'll get it figured out here. Okay, let's see if I can find the attorney's letter. Thought I had it pulled up, but apparently I did not. Here we go. The attorney's letter. So this is the letter that the attorney sent to my sister. Now, keep in mind, Judge Huff has been recused. We filed for reconsideration and we objected for reconsideration. We recused her as we filed a notice of claim, and then we filed the lawsuit against her. And so this attorney is sending her this letter after the case has been dismissed. The case was dismissed on the 25th, and you'll see that in a second when we pull up the email showing confirmation when we want to look at this. So he just goes in here about the case background, and he's making her aware that that we've been making numerous, or that my sister made numerous baseless challenges throughout the lawsuit. Frankly, we lost count. There's so many. Yeah. Then down here, he talks about the court's jurisdiction and says that since my sister is a resident of Douglas County, the court has jurisdiction over her, which is ridiculous. There's there's more than two, but there's two that we're concerned with here: personal jurisdiction and subject matter jurisdiction. So, and you have to have both. You can't have one without the other and the court be legal. Dating is not the way it goes. So they don't have subject matter jurisdiction because they lied and cheated and everything they're doing is fraud. And then I love it right here. The next major event in this case will be the foreclosure sale. Okay, this dude must be smoking something. He must be smoking something really good because the case has been terminated already. So then he talks about the judge's prior ruling, and he's making sure that she's aware we've made numerous challenges, and our client and law firm attorney has continued back in instructions came basically. So he's complaining here, and he wants us to pay him for filing these baseless claims. And if they had provided my sister with what she needed to show that the case had been terminated, we wouldn't have filed anything else because we wouldn't have needed to. So they got a little grumpy about the $20.5 million lawsuit. And one of the things he was really pissed about right here is my sister. So this attorney here, the ninth attorney that got involved, signed the notice of the entry of appearance to allow the defaulted attorney to get back in the game. So we added this attorney, the one who signed the entry of appearance, we added that attorney to the lawsuit and the judge. And my sister served this attorney at his house. And this dude was pissed. And he makes a reference here that we served his colleague at his house, and we added the bar association. Yeah. So he's just crying. And then he writes here, as you're aware, that they proved that summary judgment that defendant defaulted on her loan. I think proves shit. Okay, so there's no affidavit. Without an affidavit in this case to give the court jurisdiction, there's no witness, and attorneys can't testify on behalf of some third-party corporation that ain't signed nothing. The only signature on that paperwork is the signature of the attorneys. And that's why we add the attorney to the lawsuit as an M1 defendant. Bam. They don't like that. So he's asking the judge here to give them some relief from us because we're filing slanderous, impertinent documents. Yeah, I love it when an attorney starts whining. They whine when you kick their ass. I love it. So he wants to have a telephone conference, and he wants to charge my sister. They want the court to charge her $1,000 for every. I can't believe he spent all this time writing this, and the case is closed. It's been closed for, I don't know, a couple of weeks. What's the date on here? March 2nd. The case was closed, if I remember correctly, January 25th. And there's the attorney's name. I left a name on here just in case anybody wants to call him and ask him how it's going. How that difficult case is going that he got a beat down on for a year and a half. Yeah. Okay. Let me stop bragging. Okay, we want to show you guys something else too. Let's see what else we got here. Okay, this I've showed you guys once, but I'll show it to you again. This is just a screenshot of the doctor sheet showing the last couple of things here. So 125 is when we filed this as a counterclaim. And we addressed the violation of Foreign Agent Registration Act of 1933, Fair Debt Collection Act practice, wire fraud. I just do wire fraud and mail fraud and RICO. Just kind of like to screw with them. No, there's the attorney was quickly to say that there's no claim for these that you can get. No, right. But if you're breaking these laws, you need to take your ass to jail. Kind of how I was seeing it. So, yeah, I don't do things the normal way. I stick whatever I want right in their face and let them chew on it. So the other thing that I want to show you guys is, let me see. The email. I'm not sure. There it is. Okay. Yeah, this was the email that we got from the court verifying that the case was disposed of on 126. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Usually when people ask me how many wins, I don't even want to talk about it because most of the time what happens is the attorneys just go sit down because they don't want to have this stuff on the record. They don't want it to show. No, they don't want none of that. They just want to have it stop. Yeah. But this is nice to actually have a documented win where actually another judge dismissed it. And they went and sat down and left my people alone, other than these stupid letters that the attorney is writing. So we're just going to give this attorney a little bit of time to get his to breathe into the paper bag. That's what I tell people when they're maxing out. You need to breathe into the paper bag. So yeah, I think this attorney is going to need to breathe in. We're going to give him a little time to breathe into his paper bag and see what he wants to do. If he wants to keep harassing my sister, you know I got something for his ass. So that's where we're at on that. So that's the update. The update is it's confirmed. It was an ass whooping and it wasn't our ass. So this is pretty cool. I think this state package that I'm putting together is going to help people stay in state court. I had problems with federal court. People have to drive miles and miles to get to federal court, and it's just a lot easier to be able to handle it right there in your county. And when we have a package put together that'll cut to the chase and smack them in the face when they're getting out of control, then you'll be fine in state court. And that's what the new package is going to do. And for all of you guys that are fighting your own stuff, the biggest thing is to jump up in the judge's face as soon as they violate you. There's no freaking appeal. Okay, the hell with that. What you want to do is jam the judge up. As soon as the judge violates your rights, make a stinking big ass issue out of it. Turn the whole thing into them violating your rights and get away from all that banging shit. Because it ain't about the banging shit. It's about them violating your rights, just like they're doing. And when the judge throws your shit out and says, go sit the hell down, and that was the finger, it's just real quick. Go sit the hell down and get out of my face, go appeal it. I don't give a crap. Well, you know why he's saying that. Mm-hmm. We'll see if he gives a crap when you come back with this lawsuit for $75. Because I know y'all finna get that. Now, that lawsuit that I got for $75, you can take that lawsuit and you can turn it into a motion to dismiss that you just paid $75 for it. Or, okay, I'm out of control now, but I'm going to keep going. Or you can take that motion and turn it into what you need for a summary judgment and force them fools to put their hand on the table. They can't. And you got it for $75. When the time is up and I get the state court package all put together, that document's going to be in the state court package and it's no longer going to be sitting out there for $75. So you guys better jump on it while you can, because I don't want to hear anybody whining later that they missed out on the $75 deal, because everybody can come up with $75 to save your house and kick some attorneys, the judge's ass. That's going to be the best $75 you ever spend. And I'm going to tell you this. People get in my program, one of the last things I tell you is, I'm going to show you how to have some fun. Because you've been getting hosed for a minute. It's time to start having some fun. So you might as well start with that 75. Okay, never mind. Okay. So we're going to go over some of our new offers. And the first one I'm going to show you guys is this one here. This one is a judicial wrongful foreclosure package that I just got put together. Remember, the first one was non-judicial, and this one is judicial. And you can see it has all the stuff you need for it. There's not a lot of difference between the judicial and non-judicial. There's not. And the judicial, the non-judicial lawsuit instructional video goes more into detail about how to move the eviction case from eviction court over to federal court to be connected with your federal lawsuit. It goes into more detail. So if I tell you to watch the non-judicial instructional video, don't tell me, I'm in a judicial foreclosure. I don't care. I didn't ask you what kind of foreclosure you're in. Go watch this thinking video. Watch the video to learn how to move because you got the same documents. The same documents are in both packages. It's only a couple of documents that's a little bit different because of how the foreclosure starts. And the judicial member and judicial foreclosure starts with the petition and the lawsuit and all that, and non-judicial foreclosure, And I'm going to tell you, when I put this stuff together, I had to go back to the drawing board for the non-judicial because people were getting hosed anyway. Yep. Once they're moving this stuff in the state court for the eviction process in the lower court, and people didn't realize that court don't have jurisdiction to argue a title dispute, only has jurisdiction to do immediate possession. That's huge. Because if you go into that court, an eviction court, and you're arguing the title dispute, they're going to ignore you and tell you to get the hell out and go pack your stuff up. You got 10 days. And that's the process that I put together in the non-judicial package to teach you how to move your stuff out of there over to there. And I have a lot of people in the group that have done it. Now, the people in the group that had trouble moving their stuff were the people that had attorneys for friends and believed more of their bull crap that they have fed us to believe for the last 150 years. And those people think that when you challenge jurisdiction, that the judge gets to answer. No, the judge is not the one to answer a jurisdictional challenge or to challenge the jurisdiction challenge with an affidavit or any challenge of jurisdiction. The jurisdiction is supposed to be put on the record by the party, the moving party. End of the story. And if the judge dismisses your jurisdiction challenge with an affidavit, if it was me, I would be doing the same thing that I did and that I helped my sister do in this case. File your lawsuit on the judge. At the end of the day, it don't matter who the hell you sue. If you sue the judge, the clerk, the attorney, the bar association, it don't matter as long as somebody's ass is on the hook for what they're putting you through and for what they did to your family. That's how we roll. Now, you can see here, we scroll down. This is the instructional video for the judicial foreclosure lawsuit package. Now, one of the things I wanted to tell you guys too is that when you roll with me, nothing's smooth. Okay, you'll look at your judicial lawsuit package and you see all the documents and oh wait, there's another zip file inside of here. Well, yeah, there is. And what you got inside of that zip file, oh, this is my cool bomber that I put together for this package. Is that cool or what? So what you get in this zip, what you get free in this package is the jurisdictional challenge with an affidavit. And here's the update video that you should watch. And that's an $850 value. This jurisdictional challenge stops the process if you do it right. If you watch the stinking video before you take it down there. I had one lady in the group, she didn't watch the video. She took her stuff down there and she didn't watch any of the videos. She didn't watch the instructional video. Let me put it to you that way. That's what our problem was. She did not watch the instructional video. And when she took her stuff down there, they gave her a hard time. They did not want to file it. She had the attorney down there as an everyone defended. They was not having it. She didn't watch the video. So she couldn't argue them. Look, the attorney didn't want to defend it because see right here on the exhibit that I attached to this lawsuit, it shows that the attorney is the only person who signed it. She didn't know none of that. She didn't know anything. She left there with her tail between her legs, and that's the worst thing you can do is let them see that they kick your ass. And then she came back to the group and was asking people in the group if their paperwork was any good because they wouldn't take my paperwork and they wouldn't let her file it, so it must not be any good. Because I'm like, oh my God. Did you watch the instructional video? She never could answer me. And she finally ended up getting booted out of the group yesterday because if you can't watch the instructional video, this is not the group for you. Okay, it's not. I don't have time to answer your questions all the time, and these questions are already answered in the instructional video. You got to be kidding me right now. And you're also going to get this is what I use against the judge. Yep. The recusal package, motion for the magistrate judge reconsideration package. Now, just because it says magistrate judge don't mean anything. Use it against any judge or prosecutor or whoever you want to. And these two documents I'm adding in free. So when you look at when you get your zip file and you click on it twice and open it up, you're going to see there's a zip file there's two zip files inside of the zip files. What I did was I added these zip files inside of it because I didn't have time to move all those documents or and do all that work. So I already had these, and these were on sale on this it's $850 was on sale, this whole package, and it's like there's a motion to moot, a motion for default, everything that you need is in here to jam them up in a state court level and take over the case. And then here's what you need for the attorney, or excuse me, for the judge to finish the judge off. So, and right now this is at $4.99, and what I'm going to do this weekend for the rest of this month, I'm going to lower the price of my two judicial and my non-judicial lawsuit package down to $300. There, I said it, $300. I'm going to lower the package down to $300. So you're going to get all of this for $300. It's crazy. But you know what? A lot of people are struggling right now. And the goal of this the goal for me is to help you guys be able to kick these attorneys in the face. So if I got to lower the price down to get people in the door to get that done because we're struggling, that's cool. I'm going to do it. I'm here to get shit done. Now, there is a couple of other things I want to. Let me go back and check to see if there's any questions before we move on to the next order of business. I got some people posting some smutty stuff in my thing, so I'll take care of that later. Okay. So, guys, so MX Capital, look like I got quite a few people here. MX Capital, nice. I'm glad you made it. He's asked me to email it to him because he wants that. Look, I'm going to put a link down here to this. I don't have time to email everything to everybody. So these links to these are on my Facebook page. They're on my YouTube channel. They're in the description. The links to this are also in the comment section. So I'm just gonna copy and paste this link right now, right in there. Now I'm telling you, if you're facing this shit, this $75 document it's unheard of. So I don't see anybody doing this. And right now, $75. So Ali Original Businesses says he stopped 2 sales. Look at you go, man. Yeah, so Ali, you should check out. I have one that I have a document for a change of venue, and it's so badass. I was getting ready to stick that right up in their face. Any party can move for a change of venue in the interest of justice. In the interest of justice, what? Yeah, we need some of that, just us. So I put together a document for a change of venue because the attorneys are considered a foreign agent. And a foreign agent cannot file shit in state court. That would be like someone from another country suing you in state court. No. If you're from another state, you got to file your lawsuit in federal court. You cannot file your shit in state court if you are a foreign agent. And when they fill out that entry of appearance, they have to do that because they are a foreign agent. That's why they have to do that. So that note, the entry of appearance verifies that they're a foreign agent. That shit should be filed in federal court. So you're asking to move their stuff over to federal court where it should be filed in the first place. Now, here's the thing. When you move their shit into federal court, if your lawsuit's already there, you can connect their stuff to your lawsuit and oh yeah, there's so many options. Mm-hmm. But see, here's the deal for them. State court case law is not going to fly in federal court. Nope. You can go the other way. You can file federal court case law in state court because it's a higher court. You can file it in lower court. It's no different than filing Supreme Court case law. And all of my documents, I use federal case law just because of that. They hate it. They bitch about it, but they can't do a damn thing about it. And that's the fact, Jack. So that motion to, if you're struggling and you can't come up with $75, that motion for $50 to change the venue and just move. So what I was going to do was just move the attorney's foreclosure from state court over to federal court, and we're going to leave our lawsuit against the judge in state court. And Shamel Maxwell, she's one of the team members in the group. She's the team leader in the group. She actually filed her motion for change of venue, and boy, they left it sit on the table. They kept coming up with all these excuses of why they couldn't file it. It was crazy. But anyway, I'm going to lower this after the stream. I'll lower the price down to $300 on these two packages, so you guys can. Now this package is the one that's making the big splash. Now I'm in the process of moving all my stuff over to samcart.com because I have one front page, and if I have one front page, I can advertise it on Google AdWords and get a better rating. I can place better on the top of on the front page of Google if when they go to my website, they're going right to the front page. And so that's why I have these one-page funnel things that I'm using. And they're really nice. I can just put information about one thing in it, and it just cuts out the confusion. So there is the $75 lawsuit that's making a huge splash. Now, I don't want to forget about this one. If any of you guys wanted to be an entrepreneur or do what I'm doing, like Ali, this is the package that you need. This is my online course that I teach property investors or paralegals how to help people facing foreclosure for real. And this online course has upgraded documents that are more powerful than what I have in the lawsuit packages. And the online course is half price right now for $1,200. So that's something that you guys want to definitely want to consider if that's what you'd like to do. Now I'm going to give you guys a link to the non-judicial package also here. There's a link to the non-judicial package. And we're all over the place over here at Advocates for Justice. We don't play around. So if you use your credit card during the pandemic to provide for your family, and now you're wondering how you're gonna get them out of your face or block them from garnishing your wages, this is what I got for you. And this puppy is undefeated. There you go. There we go. So when you guys enroll into my program, it's imperative that you head over to my YouTube channel and watch the instructional videos. When you call me with questions, and if I asked if you watched the instructional video, don't be offended. The whole conversation should sound something like this. Hey, coach, I got something in the mail. I got something in the mail today. I got a question, and I'm going to ask you if you watched the instructional video. Did you watch the instructional video? And the conversation should sound something, well, no, coach, I'll go do that now. Or the conversation should say, well, yes, coach, I did watch the instructional video, but I didn't understand this. Bam. And now I got something to work with. And I understand where you are and what you need to finish understanding the whole concept or whatever. I can help you. I know where you are in the learning process, and I can coach you. I can coach you. I can offer you suggestions or stuff for you to consider, because you're the one making the call, okay? Not me. I don't tell people what to do. And, you know, I've tried this all kinds of ways. And when I tell people what to do, they just call me when they get stuff in the mail. What do I do now? You know, I'm like, wait a minute. You should have been already thinking about what you're going to do before you sent that. And it should have been, yeah. So you see where I'm going with that. So when the conversation looks like this, I can invest the time to help you understand the bigger picture in a short amount of time. If I just answer your questions and assume that you understand, they will eat your ass for lunch when you communicate with them, when you communicate with the clerk or the attorney or the judge or all three. And this is what I'm finding out from working with the 600 people in my group. There are many things that you will learn from watching the instructional videos. I can't explain all of those things when you ask me one question, nor do I have the time. My brain usually is focused on doing something. And when you ask me that, I got to switch over to that. I don't have time to think of all that stuff. When I put the video together, I took several hours to outline everything, take notes and whatever, so that I can try to make sure that I didn't miss a lot of stuff. I hate to answer questions to people that's in the instructional video. Now, I'm going to ask you if you watch the instructional video, and if you have not, you should go watch it. If you can't go watch the instructional video, I don't see how you're going to make it in my program. I don't. And I don't have time to fool around, and I don't do drama. I'm going to tell you right now, I don't do drama. I will click your butt out of the group before I have to deal with drama. So keep that in mind. I don't deal with drama because I don't have time. We have too many people fighting to save their house. I don't have time to waste my time dealing with drama when someone could be like missing my help and getting kicked out of their house because I'm dealing with some stupid ass drama. So I don't deal with the drama. So I'm just going to tell you now, I don't deal well with your fear. If you have fear, you need to check it at the curb before you call me. I don't do well with the fear, and I don't plan to do well with the fear or the drama, because the way I see it, if I change my stuff to I'll have shit for the program, and that's not the way I roll anyway. I'm a coach, and I'm going to help you kick some ass. If you don't want to kick some ass, you can go sit down or whatever you want to do. I don't care, but you're going to need to get out of the way before someone steps on your back. So the study group is not to give you answers because you're too busy to do your homework. And when you ask me questions and I tell you need to do your homework, you need to go watch the video, the YouTube video, or I send you someplace to go get educated, don't go into the group and try to find the same thing from someone in the group, because I see it and that's not going to sit well. You're going to get put on the list. And if you ask me what the list is, bam, you're done. So, because I'm thinking You're thinking about it as opposed to, oh, hell no, I ain't in. You see where I'm at. Okay, there ain't no enemy. You in or you out. That's kind of the way that you have to be here. And I don't have time to mess with people who are scared. And I'll tell you right now, if you're scared, don't invest into my package or my stuff, because at the end of the day, I already told you, you're gonna have to sue the judge. You can sue the judge for screwing you over, or you can file an appeal. Put it that way. And when you file an appeal, all you're doing is just wasting the time that you have to address the judge screwing you over. By the time they get down to your appeal, and appeal ain't helping nobody. And the appeal will send you back, let the judge do it again. Yeah, okay, let me stay focused. So the study group is not to give you the answers. The study group is to help each other come up with great ideas for the program, the new program that we're learning. Okay. We don't have the study group to talk about the attorneys and the servicer and all that shit. The study group is talk about what we're learning now and how we can get better at what we're doing right here now. The non-conventional. That's what the group is for. And I'm just going to tell you, well, one of the reasons I'm hard ass about looking to cut corners is because you can't kick nobody's ass cutting corners. Okay. I'm going to tell you that right now. And I've been in sports most of my life, except for when I got old, and you can't kick anybody's ass cutting corners. And I have people, I want to make sure the group is not turned into like a legal group of people offering information that they think is right and have no idea right. And the group is to focus on the new way we are going with this strategy. That's what the group is for. And people need to realize, I can ask you, oh, so what did they require when you file this in your state? Well, what state are you from? Because states are different. They're all different. And that's one of the reasons why I make sure people go through their homework too, because they can listen to somebody, oh yeah, all you got to do is do this. Well, that person don't realize that you're in a different state and it might be a whole different. And you got one shot at doing this and earning their respect. If you don't earn their respect in that one shot, then you're going to be struggling. The lady that didn't watch the instructional videos, they turned her away, and she thought that the documents were trash. And she came back and was asking people in the group about if they're, because they told them they couldn't file them. And well, of course they're not going to want to file my stuff. Had she listened to the instructional videos, she would have known that, and she would have known what to say to them to make them file her stuff. What we had to do to help her is, and this is something that I've done a couple of times, I had her take her stuff to the next county over and tell them that if she didn't get that stuff filed today and sent over to them, that they were going to get kicked out of her house, and that she didn't have enough gas to drive all the way over there and blah, 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 just hoop it all up. And they did. And she got her stuff on the record. So keep that in mind. If you don't do a good job the first time you go there and let them turn you away, that's an option to have your stuff drive over to the next county, have them file it, and then email it over to them. And if you boo-hoo-hoo right, they won't give you a hassle. You got to make them think that you're out of gas, and you should ask them if you can borrow some money for gas so you can get back home. Okay, let me stay focused. So when you guys get something from the court in the mail, the conversation that we have, or the communication that we have, hopefully it's in the group, because I don't really like people calling me all the time, that's in the group and can communicate with me in the group. The conversation should look something like this. Hey, coach, I received the attorney's response to the jurisdictional challenge with an affidavit. I Googled what I did not understand, and this is their blah, blah, and their blah, blah, blah failed to, and their blah, blah, blah failed. And this is my plan. Their blah, blah, blah didn't make sense because of this, or that. And this is going to be my game plan going forward. What do you think? Now, this is what I mostly get. No offense to anyone, because we're all learning. But what I usually get is, Coach, they responded to a jurisdictional challenge with an affidavit. And what do I do? Or the judge dismissed it. What do I do now? Well, there's a huge difference between the two. And there's nothing for me to work with in the second scenario. And we kind of talked about this earlier. Okay. When you do your homework and you come to the table, hey, this is what I got. This is the name of it. This is, basically they haven't responded to nothing on the merits or whatever. And this is what I think I need to do. Now, when you tell me the name of the document, I already know what's up with it or what you need to be doing or whatever. Okay. Because I've been doing this for a long time. And if I don't, I'll ask you a couple of questions to make sure that I understand. When you do this, it lets me see where you're at with your knowledge and understanding. And I can say, okay, so what I would do is blah, 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 That's a whole better program for me than you're saying, what do I do now? Well, I'm going to need like 2 hours to explain everything to you. So that's how we roll on that. I'm going to need you guys to do, you will be surprised at what you find on Google. When you get that crap, Google it. Google the statute they're talking about. Google the words you don't understand. Google the name of the document if you don't understand what the hell it is. Everything is on Google. Where do you think I get all this stuff from? Google. I don't spend no time in a law library. Crap in a law library is old crap and it's ridiculous. Yep. That's where the attorneys go. And we're kicking their ass. So when you're calling me, you need to make sure that you're not calling me the same day that you got this shit in the mail and you need to be breathing in a paper bag. Okay. Because I don't even want to hear all that. I don't like you to call me while you're just thinking out loud. Okay. Because that's not helping our communication be efficient. You're going to call me or text me or email me. Hey, blah, 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 no. Hey, this is what I got. This is what they said. This is what I think I need to do. Okay. Now I can look at that. Well, all right. That's a good idea. Maybe you could do this and maybe a little bit of that in there. And then I responded to you in a couple of minutes and I can move on to the next person. So I want you guys to remember that we have, a little under 600 members in the group. And I'm communicating with, so when you send me something and I tell you need to go find it, I don't, and there's no offense, but I have a lot of people in the group and my prices are low, so I don't have the funds to hire staff yet. Someday when the YouTube thing rolls, I'll be able to hire staff. But right now they're just the staff me, and that's it. So it's real important that you follow the rules, follow my rules. And if I don't use my time wise, I don't get to bed till late. Most time I don't get to bed till late anyway, even when I use my time wise. And I'm all right with that. But I still like to be efficient. I don't want anyone contacting me or asking me a question and have me assume stuff and tell you a bunch of stuff. And then you go in there and get your butt kicked because you should have looked at stuff in the first place. And you see what I'm saying? So I might be a little anal about some stuff, but it's important stuff. And at the end of the process, you'll understand why it was important. And I'm just going to tell you, if you don't follow my rules, you won't be in the group. And I'm too busy for drama. I don't have time for drama. If you don't follow my rules, you won't be in the group. I have the rules for a reason. I might ask you, hey, I'd rather you message me in Facebook on the private messenger, then send me a whole bunch of emails. And then sometimes people say, "Oh, but I prefer." No, it's not about what you prefer. You can either do it the way that I'm asking, or don't email me, because I'm not going to respond to your emails. Okay, I have to run the program the way I'm running it, so I can help and be the most efficient and help the most people that I can with the time that I have to work with. Now, with that being said, it would be sad if you were that person that I didn't get to because I wasn't using my time efficient, because I was listening and letting these people not follow the rules like I haven't, like they're supposed to be doing. Okay, maybe it would be you that I missed because I was too busy over there working with someone that's ready to give up. I don't know, but you understand. Now, I had a person tell me one day that got mad at me because I wouldn't take their phone calls and listen to them while they were freaking out and needed to be breathing in a paper bag. And they told me that I paid for a service. hmm And yeah, it pissed me off. But you know what? What my response was, and no, you paid for the documents that you received in your email. That's what you paid for. Anything extra and above that is on the house and can be removed by the house at any time. So you didn't pay for any service. You paid for the legal documents and information. Anything extra is on the house because I care. And usually when people tell me that, it's because they pay for a service. And I want to tell them, well, maybe you should have used the damn service and done what the hell you're supposed to. And you wouldn't be getting jammed up right now. But at the end of the day, if you ain't here to rock and roll, you're in the wrong place. Okay, because we don't have time to sit around. We don't be playing around up in here. So that's about all I have in store for you guys tonight. And I've got a sticky note here to lower the price when this stream is over. The foreclosure lawsuit packages down to $300 to see if I got people that want to fight but couldn't because it was a little too expensive. So I'm going to lower it down a little bit and see if I have people that want to fight. And it's kind of interesting because some people just want to sit around, and that's okay. But when the shit hits the fan, those people sitting around are going to be trying to get in front of the line. Yeah, there's going to be a line. And the people that are already fighting and kicking ass and doing shit now are going to be the ones in the front of that line. The rest of you people are going to be in back of the line, and you're going to be getting pushed off the cliff before you have a chance to get into court, off the eviction cliff before you have a chance to get into court. So let me go back. Stop the screen share. Oops. So I will see you guys in the next stream next week. And I'm going to post a few more links into the chat window. Okay.